Good morning, Coach Kelly here with a very special guest, Kesha Sproles. Kesha is Vice President of Club Operations for Lifetime Healthy Way of Life in Texas. I always joke if I'm with a client and she comes in the club, I said, "You see that lady? She's our big boss. She's our big boss. She's in charge of all the clubs in Texas." But she and I have been around each other for about 5.5 years, and I've watched her really huge rise to where she is today. But she has two special gifts that if you are having a conversation with Kesha, she makes you feel like it's just you and her and no one else on the planet. She has a unique ability to give her undivided attention. And then also given her high status, I mean, she's in charge of Texas. So if she's with any of us, she's above us. But she connects with employees at all levels, and she comes down to, she's like a chameleon. She makes you feel like she's just like you, even though she's clearly above. And I always appreciate that about her. So Kesha, welcome.
Kelly, thank you so much for having me. And what kind words. Like, truly, my people are truly our best asset. So I thank you for saying that.
Well, it is from the heart, and it is true. It is true. So you started with Lifetime in March of '05, and you
Mhm.
started as a membership advisor. And I don't know your background before that. How did you come to Lifetime in the first place?
Yes, thank you. I've always been just around health and fitness. I love it. It's been a part of my life since age 11. I had my mother make me this step out of wood. And so I was doing step aerobics in the basement of my home, literally at age 11. So I've always been around health and fitness. My father has been with Lifetime since the inception. So when I would visit him in Minneapolis, Minnesota, I would go and spend the day with dad at work. So again, I'm just surrounded. When I got from college, very similar, I'm sure, to most. No, you want to go out and you want to do your own thing. I doubled in communication and journalism. So my path was to be an anchor woman. Well, I went on my interviews and I saw what the salary started at, and I knew the debt that I had ran up in college, which was just not good. And I cannot let my father know that, Kelly. So I needed a
Okay.
job that was going to help me pay off these credit card bills immediately. So there it was, Lifetime and in sales. And I thought, well, okay, this will be a way I can make quick money. I can get this credit card bill paid off and we'll be set. Little did I know I would absolutely fall in love with what it was that I truly was put here on earth to do. So I started as an account manager, loved it. I stayed in Chicago for 6 months and then moved to Texas. When I moved to Texas originally, we didn't have a Lifetime. So I had to leave Lifetime for 2 years. I moved
Really?
here for my now husband. So I had to leave Lifetime, yes, for 2 years. And it was so hard. In the interim, I sold individual health insurance and I thought, well, this is great. I'm still helping people. Well, I found out I was saying no far more than I was saying yes. And that's just not how I like to operate. So our Flower Mound Club opened in Texas, and I ran in and I met with the lead general there, and I just felt like this is the atmosphere I'm supposed to be in. And I felt like I was back home. So from there, I started back as an account manager again. I knew that I had experience, but I didn't want to come in as a leader or anything else because I knew what I wanted to do long term and I wanted to earn and build my credibility. So, account manager to then sales manager to then lead general of the Dallas Athletic Club that was an acquisition for us. It was a private club that we then bought and made public to Lifetime. So, lead general. And then I became the area director, senior area director. And here we are today to vice president of Texas and Oklahoma.
That's an amazing story. So what drove you from that first membership? Was Flower Mound our first club in the market?
Plano. Plano's flagship. Plano was first. Flower Mound was closer to where we lived.
Okay.
I lived in the Capel area, yes.
Okay. So what drove you though from the moment you started that job? I mean, you rose quickly. What was driving you all that time to keep going higher and higher? Because most people don't rise
What
the
a
way that
great
you have.
question. What a great question. It was the connections and truly the changing of lives that I was witnessing right before my eyes with the members. I would make these connections with members, and it wasn't a sell. It wasn't a sell for me, Kelly. Um, I was compelling people to get started on this new journey. They had dreams and aspirations to feel like how they felt when they were in college, to have the connection with their significant other as they did when they first met. And a lot of that comes with lack of confidence and just so on, from how you look on the outside, how you feel on the inside, and so on. So back then we would call it discovery. So I would meet the members, connect with them, identify what it was that they needed and wanted. But then at the end of that, when they got started with Lifetime, truly the hugs that I would get, and then them coming in from day one to 6 months later. Kesha, thank you so much. You really have changed my life. And here are all the things that have changed. Like it's just fulfilling. So I knew I was where I was supposed to be. And this is what I wanted to do long term. I wanted to do it on the member side, but also on the team member side from just a development and support standpoint.
Okay, so that's a good segue. What is your favorite member success story? And I know you have a lot, but if you had to
Oh
pick
my
one.
gosh. If I had to pick, if I had to pick just one story, um, I also have taught group classes since 1992. Like again, I've been around health and fitness my whole life. So while I was a sales manager back then, we called it, I also taught kickboxing, barbell strength class. So I was in group as well. So I'm making these connections and we're building out plans and what we could do. And for people that were intimidated to come in, I will work out with you or come to my class and you will enjoy. I had this member. He was he was obese, extremely just overweight, very intimidated to come into our beautiful just buildings. I mean, the beautiful glass doors, you come in, there's thousands of people that you just see, and just was intimidated. And I literally told him that I would hold his hand on this journey. And we did. He attended my kickboxing classes, my barbell. I mean, he just followed the schedule. And truly, it was about a year. It was about a year, but he lost over 100 pounds. And it was
Wow.
not just me, but it was the help of the fitness professionals that was there, our recommendations for what we have in the Life Cafe as well. So again, to be able to see right before your eyes, people transform and how lifted they become is just so fulfilling. So that would be the biggest story for me that had the biggest impact, just because it was a large amount of weight. And I know how intimidated he was when he first started Lifetime.
I think I think so many people in his position that are that far overweight, I think they feel like they're in prison
Right.
and that they have no possible way of escaping. And then for someone like, you know, someone from our organization or, another fitness professional, but to come in and offer them a helping hand and to give them a spark of hope that you're not a slave. You can break free of where you are just one little step at a time. So
Right.
and change gears on you. So, given the pandemic and
Yes.
the challenge that it was to our economy, the challenge that it was to our industry, um, what are the biggest challenges that you've seen both with our company and the industry in general in the last few years, and then how Lifetime navigated those dangerous waters a lot more successfully than a lot of our competition? So,
Yes.
speak to that.
Yes. Thank you. That's very real, right? And it's so interesting. Here we are in 2023, and we're still recovering. We are so proud of just how far we have come, but we are truly still recovering. I'll tell you what I appreciate about the pandemic is it really caused us to pause and think about and reflect the things that we are doing exceptionally well, but what are some things that we can improve to get even better? The things that have been on the back burner that we just haven't implemented for whatever reason. So the pandemic really forced you to get uncomfortable really quick and get comfortable with being uncomfortable to move forward to survive, right? So I think about just the industry of fitness and training and personal trainers. We would have our personal trainers with us full time. We didn't do a lot of online services at all. We just didn't take the time to do it. Quite frankly, we didn't have to. We were very successful. And we were able to stand up different businesses inside of there to get this online platform to have virtual trainers. That's something that's really good. And then just how we changed just our overall perspective of the type of team members that we were looking to cast. What are the hours that we're looking for people to work as well? So I think it forced us to become more progressive, just as an organization, because everybody's life just kind of changed, with people having more demands on kids maybe and needing to be home a little more, and just that flexibility inside of there, Kelly. Just to be honest with you, we never had to look at before, because we had a solid organization moving forward and just really making a lot of money. Now, to your point with how are we able to survive, what I appreciate most about Lifetime and why I have been able to be with Lifetime for so many years, we put our people first in all that we do. Our people come first. So going through the pandemic, we took care of our team members. It was hard for everyone while we were closed, and there's no dues coming in, right? Because we're closed. We still found a way to be able to take care of our team members through furlough and just so on as best as we could, because we wanted to make sure that they still had a boat to be able to get back on so we can continue to sail. It was never a question of if we were going to make it through it. It just was a matter of when and how we were going to make through it. And then what type of brick and mortar we wanted to be. And we wanted to be the only one standing and just make it known and undeniable. So I think because we paused and we were able to really reflect on the things that we were excelling in, what some opportunities were, specifically around the team member and team member experience, and becoming more flexible and just progressive because times have changed, have really helped us go forward. The business that we're still recovering from and looking to really get back, still is around lifetime training, because there's so many avenues for people to take now because of what came from the pandemic.
Well, I was very, very grateful for, I still remember when our manager at the time sent us a text. It was on a Monday afternoon, March 16th. She said, "We're closing. I don't know when we're opening. If you have anything at the club you want, come get it."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
did. And but I appreciated the health insurance that y'all, maintained while we were on furlough. And so
Yes, absolutely.
I know a lot of our competition did not fare as well as we did. So
Right.
So
Right.
changing gears back to more of a positive subject. So what makes you feel inspired to do what you do every day?
You, my team members, truly my people. Like you said before, with all that I have going on, but yet when I come in, I connect like with my people, because I'm a servant leader. Like I work for you, I work for my people. That's what inspires me every single day. I've been with Lifetime 18 years, and I can honestly tell you, there's never, there's never been a day that, oh my gosh, I don't feel like this today, or oh, or direct. No, I am on fire. I am ready to go and get started to really impact some lives. That's on the team member side and the member side. So that's what inspires me, is leadership is a true responsibility. John Maxwell says it best. It is. Leadership is a responsibility. And I own that and I carry that. So I got to show up and give 150% to my team members that's counting on me every day. That's what keeps me going.
Amen. So what's the biggest personal challenge that you overcome? And having gone through that, you feel like you're better in your ability to just to carry forward, now.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I went through kind of my path with Lifetime, and what I skipped over was jumping from sales manager to lead general. When we acquired the Dallas Athletic Club, formerly known as the Premier Club,
Right.
going from private to public, there was 60% of the club that we put under construction. At the same time, we increased their dues. They did not want Lifetime there at all. At the same time, they had the same lead general there, general manager, I will say, for 17 years. So change was not something they were used to. Then I come in, I'm the exact opposite of what this lead general was, from a tenure standpoint and everything else in between. I appreciate that time in my career, because it really forced me to lean in, to operate with courage, to treat people with the utmost respect and not so much how I want to be treated, but where and how they want it to be treated. Um, it was difficult, Kelly. The first year that I was there, I would vomit every morning before pulling into that parking garage.
Really?
It was that it was that much of a toxic environment. But I knew what I signed up for, and I was set on making sure that I changed the minds of these members. Like, you give me some time, you will love Lifetime. The team members that were still there that we decided to keep, I needed to shift that as well. So it was a whole culture that I was tasked to shifting in short order. We lost 50% of the member base. So I
Really?
had all these goals that I set for myself, and I didn't put it on anybody else. And again, I'm a first time lead general. So it was a lot, but I would not change that because it truly has given me the strength, and just the fortitude to continue to go forward when it's something that I really believe in, and not let up. So I'm very grateful. While difficult, it was the best path for me. I wouldn't change it for the world.
So one of my favorite Bible verses is blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of all grace and comfort, who blesses us in our times of needs and struggles,
Yes,
so that
yes,
we may be a blessing to others and theirs. And you went through a hard time, but now you are better able to serve today because of what you went through.
absolutely. I will never, semi-control, have a lead general go through what I went through, or frontline team members. So acquisitions that we still have today, I get it from firsthand basis. So it's very easy for me to help navigate that. So yes, you're absolutely right.
Okay, so what are your thoughts? I know you have thoughts. What are your thoughts on personal development and how has that contributed to your success?
I'm a lifelong learner. I absolutely believe in personal development. Not that I push that on others, but I try to create platforms, and just career opportunities and paths in addition to what we have as an organization. So for me personally, yes, you know this, John C. Maxwell is my favorite author. Um, and really, I just believe in, I love his faith, so it's easy for me to connect with. I love his just leadership principles and all of it. And I'm a firm believer that if God has blessed me to be here one more day, my gosh, I got to show up 1% better than I did yesterday. Otherwise, I am of no service, to my family, to my team. So you got to sharpen the saw every day. That can be through reading, that can be through just connects, that can be through one-on-one conversations. And truly, if you've been in a room just for too long and you're the smartest person in that room,
You're in the
then it's
wrong
time to
room.
graduate, right? To another room.
Yeah.
So that's me personally. I really do believe in that. Like, every day we just need to get better, or we're staying the same, or we're going backwards. And so for Texas, there are just things that I really make sure that we have, because I listen to the team member voice. And while we do have career paths, we're still growing at Lifetime across just Texas right now. 4 clubs are going up, by end of quarter 1 of 2024. So that's a lot. But for whatever reason, team members may think, because of the pandemic and because of some org changes that we have made, that there's no longer a career path. There is. It just looks a little different. So what I like to create are programs, like Rising Stars, and it's for frontline team members that really the leader sees potential in. And so they get to be a part. It's kind of like a mini department leader meeting, and they get to meet with everybody across their area, on a monthly basis. And they read books, or they're going through different club scenarios. So they continue to sharpen their saw. So those platforms, and then we still do Connectivate for those that are aspiring to be lead generals, just as well. So I truly believe in personal development. I think people need to take a responsibility in that and tell us what it is that you need and what you want. But I'll always be here to provide the platform and continue to invest in myself first, so then I can pour into others and have something to be able to pour into others and help fill their cup.
So one of my favorite things that John teaches is because he is about long-term growth. I mean,
Yes.
it's it's
Yes.
it's not a matter of a goal to be attained. It's a matter of growing until he's not with us anymore. I mean, that's him.
Right.
And he says, the moment you stop growing you,
Mm,
you cut off your ability to serve beyond your current capacity. And he
yes,
said, I don't want to put limits on myself. I want to be able to serve more and more and more. And
right.
so
Absolutely.
where did you get and how do you maintain your infectious positive outlook?
Oh, wow. Kelly, I get that question a lot. Um, and I just thank my mother and my father because I've just always been this way. My entire life, I'm just a glass half full type person. And truly, it's a blessing. If my eyes are open and I am breathing and my heart is pumping, are you kidding me? We can attack anything else that the day brings about. But I will say, when people say, like, Keisha, how are you? I choose to be amazing. I choose to be amazing because it really is a choice. And it's a choice on your perspective. It's a choice on how you choose to allow things to affect you or not, and just so on. So,
Be sure you still there. Good morning, Coach Kelly here. And as you can see from the end of the last video, we ran into some technical difficulties. Yours truly lost his internet connection and my heart just stopped. I mean, we scheduled that interview like 3 months ago because Kesha is so busy and we get 20 minutes in and my internet goes out. And again, my heart just stopped. And we finally reconnected, but at that point, it pretty much killed the momentum. We just decided to punt and to reschedule. So call that part one. Part two is coming. Have a great day, and I look forward to sharing the rest with you soon. Take care.